So I am one of 7 senior community planning advisors. I work with Aotearoa, Vaka Tautua and Mangere Otahu, and I have 6 other colleagues who work with 3 local boards each.
What were you up to here with our Tongan Disability Network?
A major part of our mahi is to raise awareness within community groups, basically getting the community to become more resilient, and through that, understand risk reduction, becoming ready, and being able to respond. So the work really is to give them some idea of how it works here in New Zealand. A lot of our people don't actually know the process of weather watches, weather warnings, where to get that information from. And once they do have that information, what to do, who to call and where to go. We also talk about being home ready. So we talk about things like all the key things you'd want to have as like a survival kit if you're stuck at home for a few days. And at the same time, we talk about grab bags. If you need to evacuate, what do you put in that? Clean water, especially for the elderly. And if you can heat that up, excellent. Managing the food that you do have for that time, so you have some food storage there with you, and how to manage the type of food you need if there's a power outage. Knowing your neighbours, and knowing what you are capable of, if within a family and also by yourself, and how to ensure that when you do a family safety plan, which is recommended, that everyone is included in that corridor, including the children, young people, and including even the elderly in the family and the disabled.
With all the disability groups that you've come to now, what sort of the common questions?
One of the things that I've recognized is that they are quite resilient. And so the questions are more about what are you doing in this space, which is a broader question in terms of how we work in general with all of Auckland. So the questions that I've mainly gotten from the groups are not necessarily about themselves, but just how we work. And so they want to know how we work. And that's really important, because once you know how the system runs, you're able to contribute or to be able to engage with that. So that's been interesting, because a lot of our people who come from the islands, they know what it's like to go through a disaster such as a cyclone or flooding. So when they do come, all that readiness stuff, that response stuff, is kind of already implanted. So when we do talk about and cover the areas, they catch on very quickly, but they're quite interested to know just what's happening in the background. And that's really important, because this is for them and for us, so that we know how to communicate.
Why is it important for them to know this kind of stuff?
When you go into an environment that you're not used to, we're quite knowledgeable of our own environments back in the islands. We know when it's going to rain, we know when the rivers are going to flood, and so forth. Coming here, you don't really have those points of reference, and so you're therefore quite reliant on technical kind of, like Facebook or on the radio. And of course, the radio we have, we don't really have radio stations that like, for example, we do have a Samoan radio station, but we don't really have many other radio stations that are the whole day. It's usually a slot. So it's just being ensure that they get that information. Disasters are things that we kind of think of fearfully, but it's something to respect, because it's really Mother Earth, nurturing, regenerating, and so forth. So understanding that these things do happen, but they are accentuated because of global warming. So things can get very, very bad very quickly. Storms are stronger, and we're going to get more of it. So it's just to ensure that they know what to do and who to call, because these things are quite unexpected. Auckland's quite sheltered. We've not really had anything since the floods 2023. So that was a good wake-up call. And so for me, because we are so reliant on either Facebook or the radio, it's not just Pacifica, it's ethnic groups as well. There's a lot of us who are not getting the information in our own languages. So part of my job and a colleague's job in the culturally and linguistically diverse community space is to ensure that we kind of mitigate that. We do have community leaders in certain groups, in certain ethnic groups, and they're happy to just translate and give it up very quickly. So any way that it works. The importance is that they are aware and that they are ready for when it happens. They're not caught off guard.
What do you enjoy most about informing our Pacific communities about what you do?
The communities are very diverse in Auckland and change, you know. When you talk about a Tongan or a Samoan community or whatever, you do have those who have just arrived. You have those who have been here for a while. And then you have those who don't speak the language. You know, it's diverse within just one particular group. So I love the challenge and learning more in terms of how to get to that. And every engagement you learn something new, and then you improve on that. And we do have the resources. I enjoy giving out the resources in the different languages. See them reading it, and then you just feel good that they know they have some information.